Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video we are going to be making this Harry Potter inspired doll. This will be part 1 of 2. In part 1 we will be making the complete Harry Potter, and then in part 2 we will do his little robe and his scarf. The head, arms, body and legs will be all one piece. And first we will make the arms, and then we will work from top down all the way to the legs. This is a crochet along, so I will be doing every stitch with you. If you get lost or stuck somewhere, the first 15 seconds I will have a little drop down instruction up here at the top that you can always refer back to. And this will come in handy because there is a few spots where I make a couple of verbal mistakes, calling the wrong row or the wrong stitch. So if it doesn't sound right, just check back with the little drop down screen, and that will be corrected in editing. At the end of the video you will have a little guy that looks like this, and then you can decide if you want to give him brush his hair and sculpt his eyes and around his neck with a little string of yarn. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I load new videos. You can also hit the like button or leave a comment down below. I'll also have links down in the description for any related videos, as well as a link to my Facebook craft page where you can share photos of your work with me in the comments of the YouTube posts I have pinned at the top of the page. And also, if you see anything in the background you'd like to make, you can find tutorials for everything over here by visiting my channel page. Okay, I think we're done, so let's get started. Okay, so for the arm, you're going to pick whatever color you're using as a skin color, and you're just going to make a knot with a loop on the end. You can also use a magic circle if you prefer to do it that way. And we are just going to put our hook in our loop, grab our yarn, pull up and through, and do one chain, and that is just going to secure our yarn to our loop. It does not count as a stitch. And we're for round 1, we are going to put 6 single crochets into this loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now grab a stitch marker if you are using one. For round 2, we are just going to increase in each stitch around for a total of 12. So you'll be putting 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So 1 and 2 in the first stitch, 3, and 4 in the next stitch, 5 and 6 in the next stitch, 7 and 8, 9, and 10, and in the last stitch 11 and 12. For rounds 3 to 5, we are just going to do 12 single crochets all the way around, and I'm going to be counting consecutively because it'll be 3 rows, 3 times 12, so I'll be doing 36 single crochets and then flipping my stitch marker every time I hit a set of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm having a time here. 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that was 1 row. Flip your stitch marker. Now I'm going to keep on counting consecutively. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, so that's 2 rows. Flip your stitch marker if you're using one and keep on counting. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, I must have counted wrong, 35 and 36. For round 6, we are going to do 1 single crochet and 1 increase or decrease for a total of 8. So 1 and decrease for 2, 3, decrease for 4, 5, decrease for 6, 7, and decrease for 8. And don't finish this last stitch because we are going to do our color change for the sleeve. So grab your light gray and you're just going to tie that on. This will leave a tiny little step. If that does bug you, then you should tie off your skin color and then reattach your gray. But it's not really noticeable, especially if you're making the cape. You won't even know any difference. So okay, pull that gray color through to finish off that last stitch. And we are going to start rows 7 to 14, which are going to be 8 single crochets all the way around, and that's 8 rows. So because I'm not using a row counter, I'm just going to make it 2 sets of 4 rows. This is going to sound confusing, but so I'm going to do 8 times 4 for 32, which is 4 rows, 8 times 4, which is 32, which is another 4 rows, which will equal 8 rows. You can go ahead and do count by rows if you want. I just find this to be easier. So we're going to 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the end of a row. Flip your stitch marker if you're using one, and I'm going to keep counting consecutively. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so that's another row. Flip your stitch marker. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So that's another row finished. Flip your stitch marker. Uh, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. So that was our first set of 4 rows, and we have 4 more rows to go. So I'm going to start counting back at 1 again. You can keep going. What is that? Is it 64 you'll need total? I'm going to go to 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1 row done. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's our second row. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's our third row, and 1 more row. 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, I did this wrong now, 6, 7, and 8. I started counting it but in 8s instead. If you're wondering why I don't do 64 and just do them all, like how often can you do 64 stitches without being interrupted? So I just split them up into 32s. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit of stuffing in the bottom part into the hand. Probably not too firm, kind of soft and squishy, because people's hands are a little flatter than so I just put like about that much in. When you do your next arm, make sure you keep the stuffing about the same. And then once you have enough stuffing, you're going to fold your piece in half, and you're going to put 3 single crochets across the top, making sure you're in both sides and under both parts of the V. So there's your one V there. Here's your other V here. This is your loop on your hook here. So you want it to look like this. And you're just going to go 3 across and give this a tug if it's loose. That'll help keep your arms less floppy when you attach them. And then you're just going to tie off. In the next frame, there will be a timestamp to bring you back to the beginning to do the second one. If you're on your second one, just keep on watching and skip past that, and we'll move on to the head. To begin, we are just going to make a loop as if we were going to start a chain. So just wrap it around your finger, down and through. We're going to be putting 6 single crochets in there. So make it about just a little bigger than your hook. And we're going to put our hook in the loop, grab yarn, pull through, and just do 1 chain to secure our yarn to our loop. And that does not count as a stitch. So for round 1, we're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grab your stitch marker if you're using one, and I'm just using a piece of thread. And for round 2, we're going to do 6 increases, so that'll be 2 stitches in every stitch around. So first increase, 1 and 2, increase 3 and 4, increase 5 and 6, increase 7 and 8, increase 9 and 10, and our last increase 11 and 12. Flip your stitch marker, and for round 3 we are going to be doing 1 single crochet and 1 increase for a total of 18, and we'll repeat that all the way around. So 1 increase, 2 and 3, and then repeat that sequence, 4, 5 and 6, 7, increase 8 and 9, 10, increase 11 and 12, 13, increase 14 and 15, 16, and our last increase 17 and 18. For row 4, we are going to do 2 single crochets, 1 increase, and repeat that all the way around. 1, 2, and our increase, 3 and 4, 5, 6, increase, 7 and 8, 9, 10, increase for 11 and 12, whoops, 13, 14, and our increase 15 and 16, 17, 18, increase 19 and 20, 21, 22, and our last increase 23 and 24. Row 5, we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 increase all the way around, and repeat that for a total of 30. So 1, 2, 3, and an increase, 4 and 5. Repeat that over. 6, 7, 8, and an increase, 9 and 10. 11, 12, 13, and an increase, 14 and 15. 16, 17, 18, and an increase for 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 and 25, 26, 27, 28, and our last increase, 29 and 30. Row 6, we are going to do 4 single crochets, 1 increase, repeat that all the way around for a total of 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 5 and 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, increase, 11 and 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, increase, 17 and 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, increase, 23 and 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, and increase for 29 and 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, and an increase, 35 and 36. Whoops. For round 7, we're going to do 5 single crochets, 1 increase, repeat that all the way around for a total of 42. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our increase 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, increase 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, increase 20 and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, increase 27 and 28, 29, whoops, 30, 31, 32, 33, and our increase 34 and 35. This should be our last set. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and our increase 41 and 42. For rows 8 to 14, we are just going to do 42 single crochets all the way around, and that'll be 7 rows. I'll do the first row with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, maybe yarn is catching here, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. Okay, so that would have been row 8. So you're just going to keep continuing on, row 9 to 14. So that'll be 6 more rows, and I will come back and catch you up when we're ready to start row 15. Okay, you should be ready to start row 15, which is going to be 5 single crochets and 1 decrease, and you'll repeat that all the way around for a total of 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do a decrease for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, decrease for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and a decrease, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, decrease 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, decrease 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, whoops, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36 is a decrease. Row 16 is going to be 4 single crochets, 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is a decrease. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a decrease. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is a decrease. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is a decrease. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is a decrease, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 is a decrease. Row 17 is going to be 3 single crochets and 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 24. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a decrease, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a decrease, oops, 9, 10, 11, 12 is a decrease, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is a decrease, 17, 18, 19, 20 is a decrease, 21, 22, 23, and 24 is a decrease. Row 18 is going to be 2 single crochets and 1 decrease for a total of 18. 1, 2, 3 is a decrease, 4, 5, 6 is a decrease, 7, 8, 9 is a decrease, 10, 11, and 12 is a decrease, 13, 14, 15 is a decrease, 16, 17, and 18 is a decrease. Okay, you should have the head done and then your 2 arms, and now we are ready to start attaching the arms. So you're going to take this last decrease out, because we're going to change our color to gray. So you're going to do 1 decrease, and then add your gray. Just tie a knot in there a couple of times. And then pull that gray through to finish the last stitch of the head. Okay. So to begin, you're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then grab one of your arms, and with the string you left facing towards the front, you are going to do 3 single crochets through the arm and then through the head, and make sure you're going in the next stitch and not in the same stitch that you just went through. So 1, 2, and 3, and make sure you're getting through both sides of the V on the arm and the head. Now we're going to do 6 single crochets, and make sure you're going in the next stitch and not the stitch you just put through the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then grab your second arm, making sure the string is facing towards the front. And you're going to put 3 single crochets through the arm and through the head. Oh, my string. 1, 2, and 3, and then you should have 3 single crochets left. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that was row 19, and you should have 18 stitches around. And for row 20, we are going to do 2 single crochets and 1 increase, and repeat that all the way around for a total of 24. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 for your increase. 5, 6, increase 7 and 8, 9, 10, increase 11 and 12, 13, 14, increase 15 and 16, 17, 18, increase 19 and 20, 21, 22, and an increase 23 and 24. Okay, for rows 21 to 23, you're going to just do 24 single crochets all the way around, and I am going to do that consecutively, so it'll be 3 times 24, 72 stitches, I believe. And flipping our stitch marker every 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, so that's one row of 3. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and that's 2 of our 3 rows. Keep going one more time. 49 and 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72. For row 24, we are going to do 3 single crochets and an increase for a total of 30. So 1, 2, 3, and our increase 4 and 5, and then we're just going to repeat that all the way around. 6, 7, 8, and our increase 9 and 10. 11, 12, 13, and our increase 14 and 15. 16, 17, 18, and our increase 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, and our increase 24 and 25, 26,
27, 28, and our increase 29 and 30, but do not finish off 30 because we are going to be changing our colors. Okay, so grab your red. And you're just going to tie that on. Remember, this will leave a little step. So if you don't like the steps in your work, you are going to have to tie off your gray and then reattach the red. The steps will look like this. So if you need those to be straight across, you're going to have to do it a different way. Oh yeah, leave your gray attached because we are going to use that again. Pull your red through, and you're just going to do 30 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and when you get to your last stitch, don't finish it because we're going to change to yellow now. So leave those last 2 loops on your hook. Where's my yellow? And you're just going to tie that on and leave the red because you will be using the red again. And you're going to pull that through and finish the stitch. And then you're going to start row 26 is yellow. And it's just 30 single crochets all the way around, just like the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whoopsie, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And don't finish that stitch because we're going to be switching to red now. So you're just going to grab your red from down below, cut your yellow, and you're going to tie your yellow. I'm going to tie it to my red. You could tie it to your gray, I suppose. And then you're going to grab your red and pull it through. And now you're going to do 30 single crochets all the way around, just like before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And don't finish that one off because we are going to add the gray back in. So you're done with the red. You can cut the red. Now I am going to tie my red onto my gray. If you do that, don't pull it tight because remember your gray is still attached down there, and if you pull it tight you're going to scrunch this all up. So you just want to leave it kind of nice and taut across all your stripes and give it a couple of ties, loose and then tighter as you go. And then you're going to pull your gray through and finish that stitch. Okay, row 28. You're going to do 30 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, for row 29, you're going to do one more row of 30 single crochets all the way around, but this time we're going to go in the front loop. So, where's my thing? So this would be your next stitch right here. This is the back loop, and this is the front loop. So you're going to be coming down and up into the front loop. Okay. So in the front loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Struggling here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And then you are just going to do a single crochet, or a slip stitch, I mean, and you're going to tie that off. Whoop. And you can just weave that in a little bit and then thread it out under these back loops and out into here where you won't see it, because our next rows are going to be into these back loops right here. Okay, so you should have a guy that looks pretty much just like this. Before we get going too far down into his bottom half, let's stuff up his head so we can put his eyes in. And you're going to want to have his head fairly firm. Oops, almost can't get that in there. Okay, so that's pretty close. You don't want to stuff it so tight that, see, these stitches are starting to open up a bit on the bottom. So if they are doing that, make sure you're pushing up into his head and not down around his neckline there. Okay, let's go with that for now. And then you're going to want to find
approximately where the center of his head is. So just kind of go in between the two arms as your guide. And I'm gonna go there. And then you're gonna count down 11 rows, and we're gonna put the eyes between rows 11 and 12. So your first circle here, that's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So your eyes are going to go down here. I'm just going to move that up one row. And now I'm going to count over 3 holes. So 1, 2, and 3. And in that third one is where we're going to stick our eye. And I am using 12 millimeter eyes. Yours don't have to be 12, but keep them pretty close unless you're going for a different look. 1, 2, 3, so in that third hole. Have a look. If yours is stuffed differently, it might look a little different. You might have to rearrange them a bit. And then you want to have about 4 or 5 stitches. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bottom. So I'm just going to take a little bit of stuffing out of there now and put the backs on my eyes. If you don't have safety eyes, you can always embroider your eyes. Ow! I think I just about broke a nail there. Don't know why I said ow, but okay. Get the other one in, listen for the clicks. And then you're going to re-put your stuffing back in there. And just watch that when you're putting them in where the backs are, that you're not pushing the backs up like this, or your eyes are going to look funny and twist your stitches there. So make sure you're kind of going behind the post and then pushing forward, just so you don't get that angle on your posts of your eyes. Okay. I'll put a little bit of stuffing in his body, not too much, because it'll make doing the leg part a little trickier. I just had that little extra so it can go in there for now. Okay. If you're going to be giving him a nose, just take a little arm's length of your skin color. And thread that onto your needle. And just a row or two. I think I'm going to go 1 row down. I'm going to go across about 2 stitches. So I'm going to go like this. So I'm in, there's 2 holes, and then I'm out. And I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times. Leave a bit of a tail for tying. Just to give them kind of like, don't pull that tight either, because look what I just did. Just to give them kind of like a hint of a nose. I am not good with faces, so if you have a better way to do this, please do it your way. And if you feel like leaving a comment on how you did yours, feel free to do that too, because there may be other people wanting a different kind of nose or a nicer nose. So I think I did that 4 times, and then I'm just going to tie this on one of the sides. Right close to the side, because you're going to be pulling that in and you don't want your knot to be up in here anywhere. So as close down there as you can get it. And then you're just going to pull that through the back somewhere in that same hole, and then out the back. And be careful not to pull that too tight, because you don't want your nose to go down and in. So I'm going to hold my nose while I pull this part out. Hopefully I didn't make it look too funny. Just make sure you pull that knot in. I actually don't like that nose, but that is how it's going to be, I guess. And then just cut your ends off and let them bounce back in. And then you're going to want to grab your dark gray. And we will start the bottom half. So remember, you got to find these back loops. And you're going to tie a knot with a loop on the end. You want it to be fairly small, just big enough for your hook to fit in. You're going to want to find your first back loop of your previous round. So your stitch marker is right here. This was your last stitch right there. And this will be the first stitch that you're going to go in next. So insert your hook. I'm going to find my position here. And you're going to pull that through. And then you're just going to do, I don't know if you'd call it a slip stitch or a chain one, just to attach it. And then you're going to do, this will be round 30. You're going to do 30 single crochets all the way around into this back loop of row 29, I think. Oops, get that out of my way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whoopsies, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and your last one, 30. Okay, for rows 31 and 32, you're just going to do 30 single crochets all the way around,
and you're just going to go in the regular way. You're done with your back loops. So I'm going to go in this first one here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So that's one of our rows of 30s. So we have one more row. Row 32. One, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, oops. Around 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, row 33, we are going to do 3 single crochets and 1 decrease for a total of 24. So 1, 2, 3, and our decrease for 4, 5, 6, 7, and our decrease for 8, 9, 10, 11, and our decrease for 12, 13, 14, 15, and a decrease. Oh, I lost count. If that happens to you, you can just start going 1, 2, 3, decrease. That's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, and our decrease. 1, 2, 3, and our decrease, and we should be at 24. No, stand up. Okay, so if you're a regular viewer or subscriber of mine, you're not going to be surprised about what is about to happen. If you're brand new to my channel, I'm just going to give you a quick explanation. So, to save myself time, I am going to pop in brown for this guy that I did, a previously used video of his legs, from how to center it, how to get started, and then rows 1 to 6. And then the last 4 rows, I'm going to pop in probably just a little scroll along the top to change color when you get to the last 4 rows, and do them in black. And so it will look like this. So you do 1 to 6 of the leg, change your color to black, and then follow, but I'll still be doing brown in the video right to the end. And I will see you back once we get done the feet. So to get started on the legs, we're just going to set ourselves up with the right amount of stitches and put our little markers in that we need. So you're going to find your center, fold it in half. And you want to find the center on each side. So I'm going to go about there. So this will be the back side. Where's my needle? This will be the back side, and then this stitch will be the front side. And we are going to count 12 stitches from this stitch, or I mean 6 stitches from this stitch over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this will be the end of your first leg. And you're going to go into the 7th stitch and just place your needle in there for now. And that'll be the first stitch of your second leg. So now we're going to count 12 for the second leg, starting with this first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Put the other end of your needle in there, or whatever you're using. And we're just going to tie a string on there so that when we're doing the first leg, we don't touch this second leg at all and go in the wrong stitches. And I'm just going to tie a little bow there. However you do it, make sure it's easy to undo, because you're going to start running into some space issues when you start getting it going on the legs. So now you should have 12 stitches on this side and 12 stitches on this side. And don't worry how it looks. We got this kind of loose over here. They will be even once we get going. Okay, for row 1 of the leg, we are going to put 12 single crochets all the way around. And you may be a touch off on your stitch count with me. That's okay, as long as you have 12 stitches going around. So for me, it's 1, 2, and we don't go into this stitch. That's where our stitch marker is. We turn around. We don't go into this stitch where our stitch marker is. We'll go into this one.
So for me, it's 3, and you can pull that tight if you need to. 4. Well, that one definitely needs to be pulled tighter. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that should bring you right back around to put your next stitch in your next row where your stitch marker is. Okay, so rounds 5 to 6, we're just going to do 12 single crochets all the way around. So round 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Move your stitch marker. So round 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Flip your stitch marker. Round 4, we'll do another 12 all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Round 5, another 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And our last row, row 6. 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that was row 1 to 6. Now for row 7, we are going to do 1 single crochet and 1 increase for a total of 18. So 1, 2, and 3 for our increase, 4, increase 5 and 6, 7, increase 8 and 9, 10, increase 11 and 12, 13, increase 14 and 15, 16, and our last increase 17 and 18. For row 8, we're just going to do 18 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now we're going to add our stuffing. You're going to want this to be a bit on the firm side because he's going to be standing on his legs, and you may have to go up in here a little bit just so you don't have like a kink or a crinkle there in the leg. And when you get to the end of your leg, you want the stuffing to be straight across, kind of flat, even. Ooh, I'm getting that up in the tummy instead of the leg. Kind of even, so it's straight across here. I think I'm going to have to up that a little bit. Because you want this to be flat when you close it and not round. And he will kind of stand up on his own if you manipulate him a little bit. You can always add a little bit extra once you're done the last round before you close up if you need to. We'll see how this goes. I have enough already, but that might be in my way. Okay, for the next round, we're going to be going in the back loops. So, instead of going through here like we've been doing our normal stitches, we are going to go down through this V in the middle, and we're going to be coming up, whoops, through that stitch right there. Okay, so for round 9, in the back loop, we're going to do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease for a total of 5 stitches. So 1, and 2 is a decrease, up, 3, and 4 is a decrease. Try not to get the stuffing as you're going in. 5 and 6 is a decrease. 7, 8 is a decrease. 9, 10 is a decrease. 11 and 12 is a decrease. Now I'm going to just add a little bit more stuffing before I do my last row here. Make sure it's staying flat and you're not adding too much, but this is fairly firm. Okay, for row 10, you're just going to do 6 decreases. And we're going to go how we would normally go under both loops of the V. So 1 decrease, 2 decreases, 3 decreases. Oops, I lost my string there somehow. So you keep going, I'm going to catch up. 4 decreases. 5 decreases. And 6 decreases. And then you're just going to put a slip stitch in the next stitch. And pull yourself a little bit of a tail to tie around. And then we're going to stitch this up. So thread your yarn onto your needle. I'm going to go through the front loops. And you're going to cinch that up and pull it nice and tight. Find a spot where you can tie it and hide your knot down inside. And I'm only going to do one because I'm going to be tying both legs together back here in the body. So I don't have to worry too much about the confidence of that knot, because I'll have a better knot up here. And you're just going to pull it through somewhere near the center in the back of your little character. Until you pull that nice and tight. And then we'll start on the other leg. Okay, you're just going to make a little loop on your string, but leave yourself a tail of about, I don't know, 12 or so inches long, because you're going to use this tail to sew up this hole that's left here at the end. So you want to make it just about the size of your hook to fit in there. And on the back side, you are going to come in the next stitch from where you marked your leg stitch for the second leg. And you're going to grab your yarn. You're going to pull that loop through. And you're just going to do a slip stitch. And then you're going to start your 12 single crochets with your first one in that same stitch you just slip stitched in. So for round 1, 12 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now your stitches might be different than me. My 11th stitch is going to be going where I marked that stitch for the second leg. So for me that's 11. Then you're going to turn it around. And you're going to go in your 12th stitch is where your other side of your marker is. And pull that tight. You don't want it any looser than it needs to be. It's a little tricky, but just take your time, get it right. Okay, so that's 12. I'm going to take out my marker. You don't need it there anymore, and I'm just going to use it as my new stitch marker for the second leg. And make sure you keep this string out so it's easy to get to when you're finishing off. Alright, so stitch marker. And now we are going to do rows 5 to 6, 12 single crochets, and then continue on for the foot. But I'm going to do that off camera, and I will just put a little screenshot after this into the next frame, and you can finish that on your own, and then we'll come back and close up and tie off these arms. Okay, we should all have something that looks like this. We're done down to his feet. And now we'll just put in all our ties. So for the legs, I can get my strings together here. You're going to take your black threads from your feet and you're going to pull them down so you can flatten out the bottoms a bit. I'm going to give them a little tie, fairly tight, so you're pulling them bottoms down. While I'm doing this part, I'll just put in my little plug for if you're enjoying my videos, make sure you subscribe, and you will get a notification every time I upload a video. You can give me a like if you want, or send me a comment. Maybe there's something that you would like me to change or that you really enjoy. to take your string from your tail of your second leg, and we're going to use that to close up this little hole between his legs. And you're just going to go in and then out that side, so just like that. I'm going to turn them around. My shadows are really not good here today. And then just go on the next stitch beside that. And then just give it a little tug. And you go back and forth a couple of times, just like that. And then give it a tie when you're on the back side. And stick that through and up out somewhere. I gotta change my camera angle here. I'm just blinding myself with these lights. Okay. So for your arm strings, you thread your needle, and you're gonna put the string down and through one of your last stitches where you attached that. Bring that out back in the middle somewhere by his neck. And then do the same with the other side. Find where you came out of. Now this one I'm up in the white, so I'm going to take it into the gray. Through the back and out the same spot where you took the other thread. And you're just going to give them a pull so that you're pulling this knot inside of his. You'll probably feel a little pop as you do that. Not on that one, I didn't. And then you'll see his arms kind of come forward and they're not quite as floppy. And then you're just going to give that a couple ties and you will thread that down and out through his back. Or her, I guess, depending on which one of these guys you are making. And there we go. It should stand. Okay, we're going to start with a dark brown, and we're just going to put a knot with a loop on the end. And we are going to grab our yarn, pull up and through, make one chain. Remember, that does not count as a stitch. And we are going to put 6 single crochets into the loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, grab a stitch marker. For round 2, we are going to do 6 increases
all the way around. So increase 1 and 2, increase 3 and 4, increase 5 and 6, increase 7 and 8, increase 9 and 10, and increase 11 and 12. For row 3, we are going to do 1 single crochet and 1 increase all the way around for a total of 18. So 1 and an increase, 2 and 3, 4 and an increase, 5 and 6, 7 and an increase, 8 and 9, 10 and an increase, 11 and 12, 13 and an increase, 14 and 15, 16 and an increase, 17 and 18. Round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets and 1 increase all the way around for a total of 24. So 1, 2, and an increase for 3 and 4, 5, 6, and an increase, 7 and 8, 9, 10, and an increase, 11 and 12, 13, 14, and an increase, 15 and 16, 17, 18, and an increase, 19 and 20, 21, 22, and an increase, 23 and 24. Round 5, we are going to do 3 single crochets and 1 increase. Repeat that all the way around for a total of 30. 1, 2, 3, and an increase, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, and our increase, 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, and our increase, 14 and 15, 16, 17, 18, and our increase, 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, and our increase, 24 and 25, 26, 27, 28, and an increase, 29 and 30, and you're gonna turn your work for your next round. For round 6, we are going to do 4 single crochets and 1 increase all the way around until we hit 34 stitches. And we're going to start in this first stitch right here, no chain 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our increase, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and our increase, 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and an increase, 17 and 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and our increase, 23 and 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and our increase, 29 and 30, and 4 more. 1, 2, or 31, 32, 33, and 34. And then we are going to turn our work again. For round 7, we are going to do 5 single crochets and 1 increase until we hit 39 stitches. So again, going in this first stitch right here with no chain 1. 1, oops, yeah, I don't know what's happening there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and our increase, 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and our increase, 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and our increase, 20 and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and our increase, 27 and 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and our increase, 34 and 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. And you're going to turn your work again. For row 8, we are just going to do 37 single crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. And turn your work. Row 9, you're going to do 36 single crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. And turn your work. Round 10, you're going to do 33 single crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. Turn your work. Row 11, you're going to do 32 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. And turn your work. Rows 12 and 13 are going to be 29 single crochets each. So row 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Turn your work. And another 29 for row 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. And turn your work. Okay, for row 14, we're going to skip our first stitch, and into the second stitch, we are going to start doing 27 single crochets all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And you're going to turn your work around. For row 15, you're going to skip this stitch again and then start in the second one, and we're going to do 26 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. And then turn your work around. For row 16, you are going to skip the first stitch and do 25 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And turn your work. For row 17, you're going to skip the first stitch and do 24 single crochets. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, and turn your work. For row 18, you're going to skip your first stitch, and you are going to do 2 single crochets and 1 decrease till you hit 17. So 1, 2, and a decrease for 3. No, yeah. 4, 5, and a decrease for 6, 7, 8, and decrease for 9, 10, 11, and decrease for 12, 13, 14, and decrease for 15, and then 16 and 17. And you'll turn your work. For row 19, you are going to skip the first stitch, do 7 decreases, and then a slip stitch. So skip that first stitch and decrease 1, decrease 2, decrease 3, decrease 4, decrease 5, decrease 6, decrease 7, and then a slip stitch and tie off. You'll need quite a bit. You're going to have to stitch around the hair, so 1 or 2 arm lengths. I always do way more than I need. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to get this on his head. And what I did to line it up, first of all, I made this my right side, my outside. I can get rid of this, I guess. So I put my needle in the center, and then I put it in the center of his head, just so I kind of knew where they would all kind of line up. And then you're going to fit that on his head. You want this to be kind of above his eye, and then these to not cover his eyes, so that when his glass is on, they're not really covering his hair. And then this to kind of be even. Maybe you can see a little bit of his neck, but not too much. Okay, so get your pins. And you're just going to pin down in the top corner. And then you'll bring down his little corners here of his hair. So I should kind of be going about every 2 stitches. Then I'm going to just kind of match this up every 2 stitches. Maybe that's 3. Alright, and maybe a couple in the back. Sorry, I'm out of green pins in my guy. For some reason I have to be all green today. Okay. And then you're just going to sew that on. So I'm not going to sew it on with you, but I will just show you. You can start down here and come up and around, but I'm going to show you right here. So when you're sewing on your pieces, you want to go down into the head underneath the hair, and then come up. You might have to go over. And then you're just going to keep going like that. Just keep following it like that. Don't bring your stitches out here and try and go around, or you're going to see all these little stitches. Make sure you're underneath the hairline when you're going down and coming up. Okay, so I've marked off where I want to put everything on my face. This will be his little lightning bolt. And I'm going to use my leftover string from sewing on my hair to do an eyebrow, and see what a mouth looks like. So I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to bring my needle up through this hole. And so what I've done is I've gone straight even with the middle of his eye, and then just kind of behind his eye. I would have gone on top, but because of the little lightning bolt, I kind of made that a little trickier. So then you're just going to go in where that pin was. And you're going to come all the way over to this top pin, even with, so they're both even, just a hair in front of the edge of the eye. You can come down just behind the eye. And for the mouth, I went even with my nose. Just a couple of rows down. It could be there or there, wherever you feel it might look okay, or we may not have a mouth. We'll see what it looks like once all the glasses and stuff are on. And then I'm just gonna take that back out here so I can tie it back here later once I have everything else on and see if it's all staying. Like I said, I'm not great with faces, so usually even if someone else might like it, I'm probably hard on myself thinking it's not so great. Okay, so then take the stripe, and I couldn't decide red or black, and then I decided to go with this kind of light, kind of pink. I thought this kind of looked like faded scar color. Hold on, I'll go see what color it actually is. It is by Bernat, and it is actually called Rose. Okay, so I'm gonna come, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna tie it up here. So I think I'm gonna come in here. And I'm gonna do my cross one and leave a little bit for tying, and that's gonna be my top up there. Then I'm going to come back in right here and go down to this one. Hopefully this will be a big enough zigzag. I didn't leave myself much room here. Then I'm going to go back in here and come out where that pin is. That might stand out. I don't know. I wish I had a little bit more space, but what do you do? So I'm going to tie that right close to its face so I can pull that knot down inside, just like we did with the nose. And just thread that down in there and out the back. Not sure which side is my, I don't want to pull it too tight. Yeah, see, I pulled it too tight. Way too tight. All right, we'll get that cut. And we might as well cut this one. Doesn't look too bad for a little guy. I don't know if he looks like Harry Potter or not. Maybe I should have went with red so it would stand out darker. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I sculpted the face a little bit.
It doesn't make a huge difference if he's wearing the robe, but if he's not wearing the robe, it actually looks a little nicer. Okay, so you've got your 6 stitches down here that you made when you joined your arms. You're going to use those as your guide. So this is your center. You have 3 stitches on each side. And I'm just going to go 1, 2 stitches. So 1, 2. So I'm just under the eye here. And I'm going to go straight up. Just in front of his eye. Oops, I gotta wait. I don't want that doubled. And then I'm going to go over to this next stitch on the other side, bottom of his eye. And then I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go to the stitch that's under his eye on this side. And then the stitch that's on this side. And down. So I'm 1, 2 from the center again, kind of under his eye. And then you can just pull that and it'll start kind of bringing his head and his face down. Now I probably have this guy's mouth down too far, but that can be fixed later. This is the first one I did. Okay, so now you're going to take the thread that you got your needle on, and you are going to weave that in and out all the way around to the center of the back, through the white or the skin color, just above where you attach the arms. So, and then pick about center. And then you're going to do that with the other string on to go around the other side. Make sure you don't go through the thread you just put. Like, don't get your needle in there because we're going to pull that tight. And it won't work if you've gone through that piece of thread. And come out, if you can, right where your other string came out. You're going to give that one tie, making sure that the string coming from this way is facing this way, and the string coming from this way is facing that way. And then just give it a squeeze. Flip your guy over and kind of watch what's happening. Oops, make sure I'm going the right way here. Nope. All right, so that will pull in the neck and it will bring down the eyes a bit. This one didn't come down quite as much, but I like it that way. And then you'll just tie this up. Yeah. 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times, I guess. Well, however many. And then you're just going to thread that down into his body. Make sure you go through the hole where you came up through to tie your knots. And then you'll just give that a cut. And if you need to, you can come in here and kind of pull your string down if you didn't pull this tight enough to begin with. Now, if you want his hair to be more fluffy like this guy, then you're just going to take, what I use is a pet brush,
And then I just brush, brush, brush. It takes a while. And if this is for a child on the younger side, I mean, this hair will go matty if they're playing with it. If it's just sitting and kind of displaying, it'll be fine. So that might be one thing you want to keep in consideration. I don't have them all up here, but this is another thing I use if you can't find a pet brush. This is just like for scraping paint and stuff. You can find it usually in any hardware store in the paint section. And it works okay too. Okay, so for the glasses, I'm just using this garden wire. It's just from the dollar store. It's a little on the flimsy side, but it does do the job. I'm going to take, so I measure around his head, so I know I at least have that much. Plus I need to make 2 rings for the glasses. So I just make 2 little rings. And then I know I should have lots of wire. We can measure this if we need to. Let's see. I think if you bought florist wire, it'd probably be better. So this is, let's see. I got about 19 inches. Whoopsie, sorry. This is I thought maybe I'd have more room if I set up over here at my work in progress station. And then you're just going to pull, if you're using this kind of wire, I have to pull this off. So I will do that and then come right back. Okay, so now that your wire is ready, you want to find approximately where the center is. And just clamp your pliers there. That's going to be where the bridge of your glasses are. And take whatever round object you're using for the to get the glasses round. And you're just going to come up and around. And we're going to up. And you're going to want to twist this wire down and around, nice and tight. So you have it sticking up. Then you're going to give that a little pinch. And you want this, let me go get my other. You want this to go across the top of your glasses. Sorry, this is awkward trying to do this around the camera. So this will be the top of your glasses where there's 2 layers. And then I like to take my pliers and kind of make a straight top. Just a little wider than my pliers are. Probably about the size of your thumb width, maybe. Hold that there. And now you want to get this wire wrapped in and around before you make the arm to keep that nice and secure. I was gluing them before and I didn't realize until I played with it so much, positioning it, that it actually, the glue broke apart and then the wire actually snapped on me. So this little This little last twist is a pain, but it's worth it if you can get it. And then you want it coming straight out like this again. So it's going to look kind of like this. So this is the top, this is the bridge, and this is where your arm will be. Then I just put my pliers back in there and try and keep that top straight. And then you'll grab your guy and you'll measure his eye, where you want the glasses sitting, and about where his head ends, if you're looking straight on, that's where you want to put your bend. So you just put your pliers right in there and then give it a little bend. This might be a little wider than I want, but that can be changed. And then you're just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, this is so funny. Okay, measure where, so this is just a little bit over from the eye, so that's where you're going to want to start your next eyeball for your glasses. So get your pliers in there. And you're going to do the same thing, wrap it around, and then come down. Sorry, I keep bumping this. Now, the trick here is to kind of make sure they're the same size. Oh, that one went better. Look at that. I don't know what I just did, but I guess if you're making lots of these, you kind of learn some little tricks as you go. So make that top part flat again, pinching these so they're nice and tight. Try and make sure your circles are fairly even. And then you're going to get this back in there again for this side. Oh, that's working way better this time. Look at that. I think I got my wire a little longer on this side. Give it a good pinch. You want it going out this way. Straight out. And if you have a better way to do this, please do it your way, because I know this is kind of awkward the way I'm showing you. And then get about the same amount of width on this side with your pliers. You can measure it on the head if you want. I'm just going to go for it for the video and then give it a little. And of course you can kind of play with these, make them more round again, fix them up. So if these were perfect, that's what it's going to look like. And then I used these vice grips, and I just held on to all the extra wire here. And then I just went outside and spray painted. I used this brown. I wouldn't suggest this one as far as adhesiveness and sticking to it, because when I was playing with those glasses, it was chipping. But this spring I used these to make those little fake strawberry rocks to put in your strawberries. And I tell you, I thought, brilliant idea, I'll go and I'll put some newspaper out on the gravel driveway, and I'll spray my rocks and it'll wear away like in a week or two. Well, that was about 9 months ago, and those rocks, I have a red square still on my driveway, and I drive over where it's rained and hailed, and now it's snowing, so this should be good. Usually I use Trim Clad, but this is Beauty Tone Rust Coat, and I would say that will work great for you. Okay, so once you have them spray painted, you're going to cut them down to about the size you want back here, and then you're just going to thread them. Well, I'm not going to do it now because I got to spray paint these, but you take the end here and flip it over so it's not pointy. And I would put a warning if you're selling these. I would put a warning about sharp objects on the glasses or something. But then you'll just put them in. I think I put them in along the top row of the eye like this. And this is, whoops, wrong side. Whoops, oh, look what I done. So top row-ish. And I gotta fix this, but, and then you just kind of squeeze them down in around how they fit for you. This won't, you don't want this sticking out. You'll want to bend these before you stick them in so they're like this, but they'll be ending here, not way back here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these glasses weren't too much of a struggle for you like they were for me. I apologize on the workmanship of this video. If you did like this video, please hit the subscribe button, and every time I make another video, it will you will be notified, and I believe it'll also show on your when you scroll YouTube, it should show up on that, I don't know what it's called, timeline. And you can also hit the like button, leave me a comment and let me know what you think of the video. Hopefully I see you again in one of my other videos, and you guys take care, be safe, and happy crocheting. Thanks for watching.